We're live. We're definitely live. Can anyone see me in the UK Crime Book Club? Let me have a look. I'm going to try and get the page up so I can keep check. There we go. Yes. Hello, Patricia. How you doing? We've got somebody in here watching. That's always a good start. Good evening, everybody. I'll give everyone a couple of minutes to join in and join the group and join the chat. Just say hello when you get in. It's always nice to know people are watching. I'm not just talking into the void. I'm a parent of 2 kids, 5 and 3, so sometimes it does feel like I'm talking into the void. So yes, remember, this is all just for fun tonight. All you need, pen, paper, nothing more. You're marking your own, and you're just doing it for a bit of fun, learn something, prove how happy, prove how clever you are as well. It's a nice, easy Thursday evening. I hope everyone's had a nice week. Hello out there to Anthea. Hope you've all had a good week. We've been returned from our holiday this week, so it's been a case of getting back to normality. No one likes getting back to normality after a holiday, do they? A bit of a come down, but we braved the holiday over down in Devon, despite the ongoing corona situation. Hi, Sam. Good to see you. Caroline's in the room as well. So we're filling up 7 viewers. Let's give it a couple more minutes. How are the butterflies? They are gone. They are now departed. They hatched from their chrysalises. We had a little leaving party for them. One of them didn't look so good. Its wing hadn't fully developed, and I think that one there probably ended up bird fodder. But thankfully, none of them got eaten in the kill zone because of all the birds we've got in our garden. But yeah, they're all out there now. And every time we see a butterfly in the garden, Jack's like, "Is that one of ours?" Yes is the answer. Yes, it's one of yours. It's still going strong. So let's give everyone a couple more minutes, then we'll get started. We're sticking with the crime theme loosely this week. If anyone does have any input on whether they want to keep just a sort of solid crime theme for the quiz, great, let me know. If you'd like me to vary it up a little bit and not be stuck with that nice tight parameter of crime, do let me know. It might make things a little bit easier. Certainly for me, researching it will make it easier. Let's a couple more minutes and we'll get started. Remember, pens, papers, all at the ready. If you've got a funny quiz team name, let me know. Always like a giggle. And say hello in the chat. Talk amongst yourselves. We're nearly ready for round 1. 2 more minutes and we'll get cracking. Have a quick sip. Today's quiz is sponsored by Brewdog and Cloudwater. Their New England IPA collaboration. It'd be good if they realise how many people watch this and they could send me some free beer. That'd be great. Hope you're listening, Brewdog. I think I've just answered your question, Sam. So yes, it's a nice New England IPA. That's my weapon of choice at the moment. Lovely beer. What's everyone else drinking? You don't obviously have to drink to do the quiz. This is the UK UK Crime Book Club pub quiz, but we're not in a pub, so you can have whatever you want or nothing at all. Waving a pen at you. Waving a pen at me. Yeah, lovely. Right then, 1 more minute and then we're going to get cracking. After the feedback from last time's quiz, we have tried to make things a little less tricky. So some of these questions are questions I already knew the answer to. So, you're all going to get those. If I knew the answer, you'll be fine. Nothing as nice as Brewdog. I do love a nice Brewdog. Is that Skull Lager? Rosé wine, yeah, lovely. Lovely, nice bit of rosé. It's not quite rosé weather out there today. It's a bit grey where we are. A bit overcast. I do like a nice rosé. I've got pretty much 2 rules with alcohol. Is it wet? Yes, well, that's fine then. Is it tequila? No, but that's also fine then. Tequila and me, we don't agree. No, that's the one drink I sort of draw the line at. Lovely bottle of Malbec. Oh, very nice. Must try brew. You should try Brewdog. They're a fantastic brewery, and they're sort of quite socialisty and punk, which always appeals to my nature. Right then, enough talking about beer. Should we crack on? Pens at the ready, paper at the ready. We're on to round 1, and this week's round 1 is crime literature. I don't know why I thought that'd be a good idea in this group. So we'll begin with round 1, crime literature. Here we go. Question 1. The McCavity Award nominations were announced this month. But what was the name of the winner of the best novel in 2019? And here's a clue: it was written by Lou Burney. That's question 1 for you. Bottle of Merlot for Saturday, hey Patricia, very nice. Sam's on the water. That's not letting the side down. You've got to keep hydrated, people. Important to do. Question 1 again. The McCavity. Oh, your broadcast has been paused. It should resume shortly. Okay, then I'm back. Can you see me? Just in case anyone missed that, the McCavity Award nominations were announced this month. But what was the name of the winner of the best novel in 2019, written by Lou Burney? Third time of asking for question 1, so we'll move on to question 2. Christmas with the Cranks was a film adaptation from a book by which author, best known for his legal thrillers? It surprised me when I found out. So that's question 2. Christmas with the Cranks was a film adaptation of a book by which author, best known for his legal thrillers? Obviously crime, because we're here in the UK Crime Book Club pub quiz. So writing these answers down. Lovely. Question 3. Mary Westmacott was a pen name for which already world famous author? Do remember, if you miss any questions, Caroline's going to be posting them in the group chat. So don't worry too much if you do miss any. They will be posted and you will get the chance to see them. And if anyone does need anything shouting out at the very end, do let me know and we can do that for you. From October, Christmas movies. Ooh, I don't know about that. Ooh, I get a little bit antsy around November wanting to put a few on. My current rule, since I've got into American football and all the sort of Americanisms that brings to life, is that I can start watching Christmas movies after Thanksgiving. And I do Thanksgiving because 1, I get to watch American football all day, and 2, the food is brilliant. But yeah, October. Ooh, I don't know. I feel it's a little bit early, maybe. But to each their own. I mean, Christmas is brilliant, so why not drag it out a little bit? Why not spread the joy? Question 3 again. Mary Westmacott was a pen name for which already world famous author? Well, everyone's got 0 so far, Patricia, because we haven't done the points. Yeah, there are a couple of tricky ones in there. Mary Westmacott is one where you go, when you hear the answer. I don't want to give too many clues, though, do I? Question 4. Roy Grace is a character from which author? Short but sweet question, that one. Question 4 again. Roy Grace is a character from which author? Now remember, these are all crime literature. And I've tried to pick a couple that I think should be known to the group. I presume you'll read crime books if you're in this group. You never know. Yeah. Maybe you just wandered in here and didn't know how to escape. It happens. It happens to all of us. Question 4, again, for one last time, because it's a nice and short one to say. Roy Grace is a character from which author? Sam knows one. Hey. I'm sure you've got it right, Patricia. I've got a good feeling here. And question 5. The Mist is the final part of which trilogy by Icelandic author Ragnar Jonasson? Oh, I absolutely murdered his surname there, didn't I? I'll say that again. Sorry, Ragnar. The Mist is the final part of which trilogy by Icelandic author Ragnar Jonasson? Jonasson? My Icelandic is not the best. Even saying it in English. Icelandic noir is it's good. And if you haven't read The Mist and the trilogy of what it's a part of, do so. and there's some fantastic stuff out there, and I would recommend that as a really good place to start. So, The Mist is the final part of which trilogy by Icelandic author Ragnar Jonasson? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of round one. Nice and painless. I hope you enjoyed that one. I'll give you a couple of moments. There's the questions. Thank you, Caroline, glamorous assistant, posting all the questions up for me. Sorry, Pat. Oh yes, if you've got a box of Icelandic to read, it should definitely be in there, and there'll be some good ones to look forward to in there. I kind of envy you a little bit there, definitely. I've just what have I just bought? This is the latest book I've just bought. It's not crime as such. Children of Time, sci-fi, which is my other great passion, by Adrian Tchaikovsky. That's what I picked up yesterday while I was out buying a present for my brother for his birthday. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. But that one's added to the TBR pile. It's quite a long pile, as it always is. It's always growing, isn't it? Okay, so round two is TV. And sticking with the theme, these are all going to be crime-based TV questions. So we'll start with question one. The Chief Inspector Barnaby book series was the inspiration for which long-running TV show? Have you been to Iceland, Caroline? It's a place I'd love to go. Iceland and the Faroes, and Norway, Greenland, all of that sort of place. Yeah, Iceland is a place I'd love to go to. So if you've been, oh yeah, definite travel envy there. Question one in round two again. The Chief Inspector Barnaby book series was the inspiration for which long-running TV series? Sam knows, she loves this show. Everyone loves this show. Come on, it's an institution. Greenland, yeah. That's the one sort of real outpost country, isn't it? That it's completely off the beaten track. But awesome, Scandinavia. I've never been to any Scandinavian countries, so I'd love to. I'd love to do that and try and see the Northern Lights and all that sort of stuff. That'd be absolutely amazing. Right then, question two in the TV round. In the TV show Line of Duty, what does the AC stand for in the name of the central unit, AC-12? We all love Line of Duty, I'm sure. Great TV show. And I think if you've watched it and you're not sure exactly, you can have a good guess here and you'll be on the right track. And if you haven't watched it, at least you know what it's about, you can have a good guess and be on the right track with this one. So, question two again. In the TV show Line of Duty, what does the AC stand for in the name of the central unit, AC-12? Great show. And they always have some absolutely incredible guest stars on that show as well. Real A-list guest stars. And I think that helps. I mean, Jed Mercurio is a fantastic writer anyway, as we all know. But the casting in that is something else. The acting is, yeah. Great TV series. Question three, talking of great TV series. The Wire is set in which American city? Well, let's be honest, The Wire is the greatest cop TV show in the history of cop TV shows. If not the greatest, one of the greatest TV shows ever. It's sumptuous. What a television program. Sam's remembered. Pat, AC was always alternative current. It was. AC/DC. We are not on the highway to hell, though. We're on the highway to the right answer. Sorry. That was bad. I didn't say I was funny. So question three again. The Wire is set in which American city? It's the only TV round question. There's more coming, Caroline. You'll know the rest. Well, you might not. We'll get to question 4. Question 4. So, but I presume you mean the joke there, Sam, and not just the overall quiz. I'll take that. It was bad. Question 4, and it's a multiple choice question. The Bill, of course, was an absolute institution of British evening television for decades. But how many episodes did it actually run for? Was it A, 2,425, B, 2,125, C, 1,825? All of those numbers sound absolutely ridiculous when you consider them as the amount of episodes that a TV show could run for. I mean, we're talking around the 2,000 mark, whatever way we cut it. That's insane. Pat's a Scot. My accent does not show that I'm a Scot, and the fact that I was born this side of the border also doesn't show that was a Scot. But I was given the choice. So I'm half and half, and I chose Scot. So there we go. Given the choice, north or south? North. One accent that I do really badly is the Scottish accent, unfortunately. I mean, I do a lot of accents badly. I don't do many good. I don't even do my own accent very good. But the Scottish accent, oh dear. Yes, you can ask Mark Billingham, of course. 10 million episodes, it's actually still being filmed. I wish they'd bring the Bill back. I remember the first time I watched it around at my granny's house. Brilliant episode. So, question 4 again, multiple choice time. The Bill, the institution of British evening television, ran for how many episodes? 2,425, 2,125, or 1,825? Takes your picks. And you've got a 1 in 3 chance of knowing, even if you don't know the answer. They're not bad odds. It's better than the lottery. Question 5. What was the first name of the titular lead character from the series Taggart? Question 5 again. What was the first name of the titular lead character from the series Taggart? I will do my Scottish accent for Taggart shortly. Because everyone can do at least one word in Scottish when they've seen Taggart. Mother. Which you can then, do things like burger. I'm never going to be allowed back in Scotland again, am I? My family's going to disown me. That was terrible. That's round 2, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on. Thank you very much, Caroline, for posting the questions there and saving me from myself. That's a real help. All this. I can't do it, Pat. Right, and round 3, music. And again, this last time round, the music round was where it got a little bit tenuous at times. This time, again, it gets a little bit tenuous. No more tenuous than question 1. It's a Crime was a demo track that was later re-recorded with new lyrics and a new title and called Let There Be Love by which famous UK band? The only crime here is my Scottish accent. That was a crime. Probably the hardest question of the whole quiz. Anyone gets this one right this week, you'll have my undying respect. Definitely the hardest question of the quiz. I'm waiting to see if anyone's... I know this. Yeah, I know this. Even if you're a fan of the band, there's a little bit of a geeky... Yes, of course I can, Pat. It's a Crime was a demo track that was later re-recorded with new lyrics and a new title. Similar, the same lyrics and the same tune. And it was called Let There Be Love. But which famous UK band recorded it? So they did the demo and they did the full song. The demo was called It's a Crime. The final song itself was called Let There Be Love. Lots of similar lyrics, and there was a few changes. I think there was about 5 or 6 years between the two. Yeah, if anyone's got that, no one's saying they've got it, so apologies, that was a hard one. So we'll move on. Round 2, and this is a music crime literature crossover. Blind Blake was a blues musician who was the reason for which fictional character to get off a bus in Margrave, Georgia, in their debut outing? Now, if you know this character, you'll know their love for music. So, yeah, I might give you a chance of just guessing. Great book. Absolutely brilliant book. I'm a big fan of this author and this character. And my brother knew that, and he sent me a message one day saying, "Oh, Ben, I've got this book. I just found it in a charity shop. Do you need it?" I says, "No, I've got that one. Thanks. Already read it. Obviously, it was the first one, but yeah, I've already read it. But thanks, mate. No problem." All right, no worries. A couple of days later, he texts me and says, "I've just gone to start that book. It's a signed first edition." He picked it up for 20 pence, and I turned it down. A signed first edition of this book by the author that he picked up for 20 pence in a charity shop. Never say no. Always say yes. Always say yes to new books. Even if you've got it, say yes. Question 2 again. If you've all gone quiet, can you hear me? I'm just going to wait and see that you can hear me. Can I hear me? I'm just going to wait and see. Yeah, I can hear me, so I'm still there. Just give me a thumbs up if you're all back. Patricia, Pat lost connection. Are you back? Anthony, you can hear me. Great. Oh, sorry, you threw me there, Sam. You made me panic. Absolutely panicked. So, question 2 again. Blind Blake was a blues musician who was the reason for which fictional character to get off the bus in Margrave, Georgia, in his debut outing? There's a few clues in there that even if you've not read the book, I think you can work it out. You're back, Pat. Let me know if you've missed a question, Pat, and I will absolutely repeat it for you. We're about to do question 3 of round 2, so if there's any you've missed, I'll catch you up. In the meantime, for those who are waiting, question 3. Reuben Hurricane Carter was a boxer wrongly convicted for murder. But which folk singer famously told his story in the song Hurricane? Well, I think, again, that's one, yeah. Famous song, great song. And it's a terrible story, which feels quite relevant today, to be fair. But yeah, you're okay. Great, Pat. Fantastic. So one more time on question 3. Reuben Hurricane Carter was a boxer wrongly convicted for murder. But which folk singer famously told his story in the song Hurricane? Great song. Great singer. One of the best. Want a clue? He's got a new album out and it's meant to be excellent. I've not heard it. It's meant to be excellent and I should hear it. Question 4. Who was murdered on the 8th of December 1980 outside of the Dakota in New York City? Question 4 is an easy one, Pat. Everyone knows question 4, surely. My dad can still tell me where he was when he found out about this one. I would imagine that, yeah. Question 4. Gotta get that one. So question 4 again. Who was murdered on the 8th of December 1980 outside of the Dakota in New York City? And we're in the music round, so it's a musician. Famous one. Yeah, my dad was said he heard it in a petrol station on his way to or from work. Before my time, which is a shame. And there's another multiple choice question coming in. And it's even better than the last multiple choice question because this has only got 2 options. Flip of a coin. So, question 5. The deaths of Biggie and Tupac were key moments in the East Coast West Coast rap feud. But which one died first? 50-50 chance. It's almost like a lottery. So this is question 5 again. The deaths of Biggie and Tupac, that's Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur, were key moments in the East Coast West Coast rap feud of the mid-90s. But which one died first? They both died in pretty quick succession. I think it was about 7 months between the two. But which was the one who passed first? Both died tragically, obviously both murdered, shot. Who was the first to go? You sat. Oh, yeah. If I know the answer, you sat in his car. Oh, amazing! Wow, that is pretty awesome. Was he in it as well? That's a great story. Apparently, that's a clue, but it's a clue that I've missed. Got above me. So that's music. All done. Give you a moment. There's the questions. Thank you, Caroline. And we're on to round 4, which is geography. Oh, he wasn't in it. That's a shame. That's a shame. I was thinking for a moment there you met him, and that would have been like, I mean, yeah. I think because passed before I was alive, I think he sort of takes on a sort of mythical element to me. So I think anyone who had the chance to meet him, I think it's that's a pretty special thing to do. But sitting in his car, also, wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't know you could do that. Okay, so round 4 is geography, and again they're all crime related. So some are about crime books, some are about real crime. Round 4, question 1. Mikhail Popov, also known as the Werewolf, confessed to another 2 murders, bringing his total to 83 and making him the most prolific serial killer for which country? This has been in the news recently, so it gives you a little nudge. I'll give you the name again. Mikhail Popov. Maybe there's a clue in there somewhere. Also known as the Werewolf, confessed to 2 other murders, bringing his total to 83, making him the most prolific serial killer for which country? It's a lot of people to kill, so it's probably not a small one. I've earwormed myself with the song Hurricane now. I'm going to have to go and listen to it afterwards. Question 2 in geography. Mr. Clarinet, which is the debut novel by Nick Stone, and which I've just finished reading after being recommended to read it by Jason Kelly on this page. So there's been a discussion about it. Mr. Clarinet takes place in which country? We've just been talking about it in the group a couple of weeks back. Very good book. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you for the recommendation, Jason. Let's see if anyone else followed the recommendation there. One more time. Mr. Clarinet, the debut novel by Nick Stone, takes place predominantly in which country? Be your clue, it's in the Caribbean. Not gone too dark yet, it's starting to get a bit murky. I'll have to turn the light on, but we're alright so far. Question 3. What's Left of Me Is Yours is the debut novel by Stephanie Scott. But which Asian city is it set in? So that's another debut novel there. So What's Left of Me Is Yours is a debut novel by Stephanie Scott. But which Asian city is it set in? And that's question 3. Oh, Pat, I'm sorry. I'm not helping. I'm not giving you. Not helping you here. It's really hard to judge what people have read, especially when you're doing a quiz about crime books in a crime book club. Really hard to judge what people have read. I try and take my cues a little bit from the group, and you want to make them guineas, where you just know all the answers. But you also don't want to make them too hard. I've tried to make it easier this month. We'll see what sort of scores we're racking up, but it might be that we're making it a little easier next month. But it's hard to gauge because everyone, talks a good game. But of course, not everyone reads the same books, so it can be hard to sort of get the balance. So apologies if it's a little bit harder. We'll work on that one. We're getting into the swing of it. Question 4, a series that we'll all be familiar with, I would imagine. The #1 Ladies Detective Agency series is set in which country? You'd like a clue for question 3, would you, Pat? What's Left of Me Is Yours is set in which Asian city? Let's think of a clue. It's a capital city. That's a clue. That narrows it down. An Asian capital city. I'm going to do a Scottish round for Pat and for me and for all the other Scots out there. I'm doing a Scottish round. I might do. I'm live apparently. Can we see me? Am I there? Let's see. Give me a second. There we go. I can see me. Let me know when you arrive, people, when you get back. We'll have a couple of moments. We'll catch everyone up. I don't know what happened there. Poof. Let's give everyone a couple of moments to get back in the group. Say hi when you arrive. We didn't go far. The gremlins got to us. Damn those gremlins. Hi, Pat. Good to have you back. Hi, Anthea. Great to see you back. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened there. As far as I can tell, the whole post has disappeared, which is a shame. Yeah. What can you do? What can you do? We'll give it a couple of moments. The group's filling up. Sam's back. Excellent. We're back up to double figures on the viewing, which I think was more than when we left, which is always good. Did anyone hear question 4 in round 4, which was where I was up to? Gremlin, them gremlins. They're everywhere. So we've got question 4. I'll repeat question 4 just to be safe, and then we'll crack back on. So the #1 Ladies Detective Agency series is set in which country? Mark Zuckerberg's out to get me. I laughed at that picture of him on his surfboard with all his suntan on. And he knows, because obviously Facebook hears everything you do. Anyone who's seen their tailored adverts knows that Facebook is listening. He knows I laughed at him, so he's picked on me and closed my stream off. I know what you're up to, Zuckerberg. We'll have words. I won't win because you're a multi-millionaire and far smarter than me. but multi-billionaire and far smarter than me, but I will at least register my disgust. Hi, Rachel. Welcome to the party. We're up to 18 now. This is good, this. Right, question 5. This is geography again, in case anyone forgot. Question 5. The Blood Strand, The Killing Bay, and The Fire Pit are 3 novels in which series by Chris Old? I hope I pronounced that surname correctly, because it's spelled O-U-L-D. There is a massive clue in the second of those book titles. If you know anything about the location. So that's question 5 again. The Blood Strand, The Killing Bay, and The Fire Pit are 3 novels in which series by Chris Old? Caroline, if it would be possible to post the questions to all of the rounds, because we lost them in the last one, that'd be wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you for posting round 4. But just so everyone's got them, if we could also post round 1, 2, and 3, that'd be great. I suppose I could do it myself. I had noticed that they were all ladies, Pat. We did have a couple of gentlemen last time. I appear to have lost their confidence. But no, thank you so much for your support. Everyone who does watch, no, I really appreciate it. It's great. Well, no, I do genuinely appreciate people taking the time out to listen to my witterings. I hope I don't bore you. So we'll give you all a moment in case anyone missed anyone got the questions there, because I know it all went a bit pear-shaped, didn't it? And then we're going on to round 5. Question 1 in round 5. And round 5 this week is history. Again, some of it history of crime, some of it history-based crime literature. Try to mix it up. Caroline's just posting the other rounds. Thank you, Caroline. Absolute legend. I love the admins in this group. They're absolutely brilliant. And that's not just me being, not just me being insincere, because I mean, no, genuinely, I think this group is brilliant and the admins do a great job. So, much respect. What a fantastic place. So, should we get on with history? Oh no, let's let Caroline finish doing what I has to do. Ben, come on, have a word with yourself, mate. Round 2's up now for those who missed out, and round 1 will soon be following. Oh, that's a lovely silence there, wasn't it? Here we go, round 1, brilliant. Thank you, Caroline, that is fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, round 5, question 1. Or just ladies, isn't it? Because there's no blokes in it. Round 5, history. What did famous serial killers Burke and Hare do with their victims' bodies? Everyone knows Burke and Hare, surely. You've at least heard of them. Maybe you don't know what they do with their victims' bodies, but I think it's a pair of names that we're probably all familiar with in some way, shape, or form. Do you notice I'm sort of making a point of sort of emphasising the fact that please, everybody know the questions that I've set. Please don't say they're too hard. Please know this one. I'm desperate. I don't want to look like I'm trying to prove that I know more than everyone or something like that. I really want to make it accessible, so please know this one. I don't do pleading very well. So that's, what did famous serial killers Burke and Hare do with their victims' bodies? Please know it. Yeah, Pat knows it. Excellent. Do you know what? Day, mate. Don't have got it wrong now, Pat. You're saying you know. If you got this wrong, I will be heartbroken. I'll be heartbroken. Hey, Bo. And Bo knows the answer as well. Excellent. If you've missed any of the questions, I don't know if we'll ever recover the first part of the video, but the previous round's questions are in the chat for you to catch up on. All you need is pen and paper. Oh, you've seen the skin, what nice. Yes. And of course, they were in Scotland, weren't they, Burke and Hare? So that's why Pat knows. Question 2, round 5. Excavations for which current project unearthed the victim of what is believed to have been either Bronze Age murder or execution earlier this month? Might have, done a bit on the intonation there. So, excavations for which current project unearthed the victim of what is believed to have been either a Bronze Age murder or an execution earlier this month. So it's been in the news. It's the current project, and they were unearthed. It was not the new Durham bypass that Dominic Cummings is proposing. No, let's not get political. One of the great things about this group is we don't get political. So let's keep it that way, Ben. Oh, Surgeons Hall, of course, yeah. Oh, you're great. Pat definitely knows the answer there. There's no two ways about that. Question 3. The Shard Lake series by C.J. Sansom is set predominantly during the reign of which monarch? Not completely, but predominantly. So I think the first 7 of the 8 books, is it? It's set during the reign of which monarch? That's the Shard Lake series by C.J. Sansom. I know, no politics. I'm a bad man. I won't mention it again. Maybe. Oh, Bo's come in like a tour de force. Love the series. Excellent. One of your ancestors was hung. What did your ancestor do, Caroline? What did your ancestor do? Is there a reason you were in this group? Is it genetic? What did your ancestor do? You don't have to say if you don't want to. But wow. Oh wow, that is an incredible thing to know. That was not the answer I was expecting. A cross-dressing highwayman. Wow, I mean that escalated quickly, didn't it? Wow. Sorry, Patricia. Yeah. How anyone was hung? I didn't know that. So, question 3 again was the Shard Lake series by C.J. Sansom is set predominantly during the reign of which monarch? So, not completely. The latter book drifted into a new monarch, but predominantly during the reign of which monarch? I am. That has blown my mind, Caroline. That is. I'm going to have to do my Google research just to find out more about that story because I'm sure there's got to be something about that on the internet. The cross-dressing highwayman. Wow. Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that. That's incredible. I love doing this quiz. This quiz pays back and then some. Question 4 in history. Who was the last monarch of England to be executed? George Gilchrist. That's a brilliant story. George Gilchrist, then. Wow. Have you ever done any highway robbery, Caroline? It's not a family trait, is it? Stand and deliver. Your money or your wife's leggings. They look quite nice. Sorry, that's terrible again, isn't it? That's the cross-dressing highwayman. Not as far as you know. I'm glad that you've not gone to a highway robbery, Caroline. That's great news. So question 4 again, before I get completely sidetracked. My mind's gone on a complete tangent here. Who was the last monarch of England to be executed? What question do we need repeating, Patricia? Question 4 again, is it? What was the last monarch of England to be executed? Is question 4, Pat. And question 5, bringing back somebody featuring 2 questions for the last quiz. He's back again this quiz. What was the name of JFK's brother, who was himself assassinated on the night that he won the California presidential primary? Yeah, JFK, we did 2 questions about him last time. There's another one. There's a lot about the Kennedys, let's be honest. Another Scot. We are rebellious Scots. Question 5 again, ladies and gentlemen. What was the name of JFK's brother, so John F. Kennedy's brother, who was himself assassinated on the night that he won the California presidential primary? Oh, the Kennedy curse. We'll touch on that shortly. Oh, it's mad, isn't it, the Kennedy curse? So that's round 5, history. And we're on to the last round. You've made it this far. Thank you very much for sticking with me. And we're on to round 6, which is in the news. Perhaps what I should do each month is have set rounds that are going to turn up. So that if I do an in the news round every week, every month, you know to keep an eye on the news. I'm sure you keep on the news again. You missed that one, did you? Sorry. So question 5, what was the name of JFK's brother, John F. Kennedy's brother, who was himself assassinated on the night that he won the California presidential primary? Round 6 then, in the news. The trial of Benjamin Monk, a police officer accused of killing a former Aston Villa striker after he went into cardiac arrest after being tasered, was recently postponed due to coronavirus, obviously. What was the name of the footballer that died? Tricky one. Very tricky one. Second hardest question in the quiz, unless you've been following the news or you're a football fan. So question 1 in round 6 again, because it's a long old question. I should have really written it better. It's a good job I don't write books. The trial of Benjamin Monk, a police officer accused of killing a former Aston Villa striker after he went into cardiac arrest following being tasered, was recently postponed due to coronavirus. But what was the name of the footballer? See, the good thing about my books is they get professionally edited. I don't pay an editor to edit these questions. This is all just my nonsense. Sorry, Bo. Tough one, that one. You either know it or you don't. I don't think you can guess this one either. If you take a guess and get the footballer, my days, that's impressive. Question 2. This one, big one in the news recently. Joseph James D'Angelo, aka the Golden State Killer, aka the original Night Stalker, just been convicted. Had an alter ego who he tried to blame for the killings. But what was his alter ego called? So one of the great, for a long time, unsolved serial killers was the Golden State Killer. Obviously, recently come to justice. They found his DNA through a genealogy website, which is frankly incredible. And he was an ex-police officer. But that doesn't give you the answer. Joseph James D'Angelo, aka the Golden State Killer, aka the original Night Stalker, had an alter ego. Who he blamed for the killings? What was the alter ego's name? That is a tough one, Bo. This one, not so tough. You should watch the news. Don't watch the news more. It's depressing as... Oh. I mean, bring back John Craven's news round. That's all I can say, because the news at the minute just it breaks your heart, doesn't it? Some of it. But thankfully, President of the United States of America can say man, woman, camera, TV in order. So, we're going places. Question 3. Speaking of the President of the United States of America. Question 3. Ghislaine Maxwell, who is currently awaiting trial for sex trafficking, enticement of minors and perjury, is the daughter of which media mogul? And, of course, Donald Trump wishes her well. What a bizarre thing to say. The Visalia Ransom. I didn't want to use too many nicknames, but I used 2. I don't know if I kept, because he had a few, didn't he? He had about 7 or 8 different nicknames that they gave him, because I don't think they always tied all the cases together at first. But I thought I'd go with the big 2. So question 3 again. Big one in the news at the moment, let's be honest. Ghislaine Maxwell, currently awaiting trial for sex trafficking, enticement of minors and perjury, is the daughter of which media mogul? Huge news. Wait and see if it gets any bigger on that one, I suppose, don't we? Because the amount of people that are linked allegedly to that, mind-blowing. Question 4. Again, in the news recently, over the other side of the pond, Mark and Patricia McCloskey are facing charges of unlawful use of a weapon after brandishing their guns at a protest that was passing by their home in which US city? Yeah, that's a tricky one. Sorry. The more I think about it, the more tricky they get. Yeah. I just wanted to do a question about these pair because there was something really comic and tragic about how they looked. Comic and tragic about the whole circumstance that was going on, but just seeing the 2 of them standing on the doorstep of the mansion, brandishing the gun loosely and shouting at the protesters. I understand that they probably shouldn't have been there because it's private property. It was a private estate, but it just spoke volumes about the political situation in America at the moment to me, and it's comic and tragic at the same time, which is never a good combination. So, Mark and Patricia McCloskey are facing charges of unlawful use of a weapon after brandishing their guns at a protest that was passing by their home in which US city? And finally, question 5, the one I've been waiting to get to, because it's my favourite question in the whole quiz. Italian police, and I apologise because I've written this really badly, so when it comes up when Caroline pastes it, it's really badly written. Italian police intercepted a suspicious package last weekend and found cocaine that had been hidden inside which beverage item? My favourite news story of the month, without a question. Brilliant. Oh, you know that one, Caroline, the one before, their house one. Everything looked wild about that whole scenario with the McCloskeys. Again, ignore when this question gets posted up, the terrible writing. I do hire editors for my books, but sometimes they're not very good either. Italian police intercepted a suspicious package last weekend and found cocaine that had been hidden inside which beverage item? There we go. The questions have been posted by Caroline. I'll give you a couple of moments and then we'll whiz through the answers. Let me just bring them up on my screen. Did you enjoy that? Was that fun? I hope you did. I've had a good time. Give me a couple of moments. I'll tell you what, I'm going to turn the lights on because it's getting a bit dark. I know you can see me all, but it's beginning to hurt my eyes looking at the screen in the dark more than anything. I'm getting old. So I needed that extra light. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed it. I do enjoy writing them. because you learn things, which is nice. Right then, should we do some answers? Does the answer begin with C? Yes, it does, Pat. He's good. We should keep. Oh, thanks, mate. Thanks, Bo. Let's see if you enjoy the answers, because let's face it, enjoying the questions is one thing, but you enjoy the questions a lot more if you got the answers right. Question 1. Lou Berney's winning book was November Road, set in the US in the 60s against the backdrop of the assassination of, yes, you've guessed it, the UK Crime Book Club pub quiz favourite JFK. Good luck to all this year's nominees for the awards. I think for me it's probably Your House Will Pay. It's probably going to be the one that takes it for me. Get yourselves down the bookies on that. My tips are terrible. Question 2. Believe it or not, and I still find it impossible to believe, it was John Grisham. Yes, that John Grisham, who did Christmas with the Cranks. It was based on his book Skipping Christmas. I've not read it, I'm going to be honest. I've seen the film. My interest stopped there. It's not a good film. Thanks, Caroline. Yeah, Sam, you're not old. I'm feeling old. Question 3. Mary Westmacott was the pen name for Agatha Christie. Who would have thought Agatha Christie needed a pen name? But apparently allowed her to write outside of crime fiction. And weirdly enough, the stuff she wrote as Mary Westmacott got better critical reviews. Prejudice, people. Prejudice. Question 4. Peter James, of course, is the author of the Roy Grace novels. He's not 18 and counting now. The last one being Find Them Dead, that came out back in May. I've not read that one yet. It's in the TBR pile. It's an ever-expanding TBR pile. You all know what I mean. It never shrinks, does it? And question 5. The Mist ends the Hidden Iceland trilogy. It's great Icelandic noir. No sign of Kerry Katona anywhere, though, which I'm finding hard to get my head around. That's round 1. Caroline says the book is better than the film. I presume that means in relation to Skipping Christmas, Last Christmas of the Cranks. Low bar, but maybe I'll give it a go. You don't get many good Christmas books these days, so why not? Round 2, TV. Midsummer Murders was the answer for the Barnaby series. Of course, in the TV show, there were 2 DCI Barnabys. There was Tom Barnaby, played by John Nettles, and then John Barnaby, played by Neil Dudgeon. So that's how they spread that one out. Question 2. The AC in AC12, if you watch the show, you've probably had a good swing at this, even if you didn't know, is, of course, anti-corruption. I worked with Vicky McClure. I'm going to drop that in there. Might have mentioned it before. She's absolutely lovely. She's great. And hopefully we'll be all winning a BAFTA together very soon. Again, casually dropping in there. Ain't no thing. Question 3. The Wire is set in Baltimore. If you get a chance, do read The Corner, which also came from the incredible pen of David Simon, one of the creators of The Wire. They did a TV series of the same one, but the book is absolutely fantastic. It's a real life account of a life on a street corner in Baltimore, I believe it is, during the drug epidemic. It's fantastic. There's a social commentary on what was happening in the late 90s and is still happening now to parts of black communities in America. It's so powerful. It's incredible. I can't recommend it enough. Question 4. Yes, amazingly, the bill ran for 2,425 episodes between 1983 and 2010. It's staggering. And let's be honest, it's still missed. If you could put the bill back on now, and millions would watch. But 2,425 episodes, which is mind-blowing. And question 5, of course, it was Jim Taggart, played by the late Mark McManus. And if you don't say mother in that accent once in a while, I don't feel I can know you. Round 3. Music. Did anyone get this one? I think there's a little bit of a lag between my video, what I'm saying, and you guys talking. Round 3, It's a Crime, later became Let There Be Love, was done by Oasis. The original demo recorded in the late 90s, finally saw the light of day on 2005's Don't Believe the Truth. Yes, Oasis. Question 2. It was Jack Reacher who left the bus looking for what happened to Blind Blake. Alas, the truth is he would have found out little about Blind Blake, in truth. Research suggests he died of a pulmonary embolism after suffering a nasty bout of pneumonia. Reacher was investigating whether or not he'd been murdered. And obviously, he didn't find that, and the book, of course, was Killing Floor. And he found trouble, which is what Jack Reacher does. Great book, great series. Lee Child, well, we all know where we stand on him, don't we? Which letter was it for the bill, Sam? Yes, it was A, 2,425. Going back to round 3, question 3, music. Hurricane, Reuben Carter. The song was by Bob Dylan. Carter, of course, was released after spending 20 years in jail for a crime he did not commit. He then dedicated his life afterwards to advocate for others who'd been wrongly incarcerated before he passed away in 2014. Incredible story. It's well worth reading up on the life of Reuben Carter and how he came to be incarcerated. It's shocking. Question 4. You must all know this. It's, Music 101. John Lennon was the man killed outside of the Dakota in New York City on December the 8th, 1980 by Mark Chapman. Like I said, I was born after that, but Lennon has always taken on this mythical sort of figure to me. His music speaks for itself, though, and definitely taken far too soon. And question 5, Tupac Shakur was one of the two that I mentioned that was killed first. Tupac Shakur was killed on September the 13th, 1996. Notorious B.I.G., Biggie, died on March 9th, 1997. Tupac was the answer I was looking for. He was the one who was killed first. There, tongue-tied myself there. Quick breather. Before we go into round 4, geography. Round 4, geography. Mikhail Popov is the biggest serial killer in the history of Russia. Already convicted of 81, he's just added 2 more to his tally. Prosecutors believe there are more to come. They will definitely take him over 100 and possibly take him up to 200 murders. Quite a staggering number. Question 2. Mr. Clarinet is set in Haiti. Really well written book. Really absolutely recommend that to anyone. Obviously it's been recommended in this group before, but a good recommendation. Thoroughly enjoyable. Question 3. The book was set in Tokyo. Follows the story of Sumiko, who investigates her mother's death. It's inspired by the real-life murder of a woman who was killed by a man who'd been paid to seduce her, which apparently is a thing they do in Japan, where men will pay other men to seduce their wives so they can divorce them without any shame. Words fail me. Not in the music round, Sam. Oh, come on, you didn't get Lennon. Geography still. Question 4. It's a series that's been going on far longer than I realised, actually, when I researched this question. This year's How to Raise an Elephant is book number 21 in the series, the number 1 Ladies Detective Agency, which is insane. Written by Alexander McCall Smith, started in 1998. I never realised it'd been running that long. And the series, the answer we're looking for, is set in Botswana. And question 5, it's the Faroes. A place high on my bucket list. I think we've already spoken about wanting to go to Scandinavian countries. Would love to go there. And of course, the big clue, if you know anything about the Faroes, was in book 2, which was the Killing Bay. And the Faroes obviously very famous for killing whales, pilot whales, which they drive into a bay called the Killing Bay and do what they've got to do. Not a thing that a lot of people have a lot of time for, obviously. Round 5, history. So, question 1, Burke and Hare. They sold them for medical research. They sold the bodies for medical research. At the time in Scotland, there were strict limitations on where bodies could come from. And they spotted a gap in the market. Capitalism, ladies and gentlemen. Capitalism. Question 2, the body that was unearthed by a current project. That current project, of course, was HS2. The skeleton of a man was found lying face down with his hands bound behind his back at the site of a Bronze Age village in what is now Wendover, leading experts to believe he'd either been murdered or executed. Question 3, CJ Sansom's Shard Lake series is set during the reign of Henry VIII. The latest one, Tombland, crossed into Edward VI's reign, and there is word that the series will continue on into the reign of Elizabeth I, but the answer I was looking for, Henry VIII. Question 4. The last monarch to be executed, of course, was Charles I, found guilty of treason and beheaded in 1649, when the monarchy was briefly abolished following the Civil War. And the less I say about that, the better. Round 5. JFK's brother, RFK, or Robert F. Kennedy. Another victim of the Kennedy curse, which is already allegedly accounted for 15 members of the family, as well as a number of other deaths from people associated with the family. Staggering, the curse. Yeah, is it even possible to doubt the existence of the curse after that? I don't know. Round 6, in the news, and Dalian Atkinson was the name of the former footballer who was killed after being tasered. The trial is postponed until next year. Obviously, I think we'll all wait and see what happens there. Famous for his time at the Villa, but also played for Ipswich, Sheffield Wednesday, Manchester City, and numerous clubs on the continent and Asia. And regardless of what happens, a life taken far too soon, which is a shame. Question 2. The Golden State Killer, the original Night Stalker, believed he had an alter ego called Jerry who made him do it. He spoke of how he managed to eventually push Jerry out of his head and live a normal life, but now that he would have to live with the consequences of what he and Jerry had done. It's up to you whether you buy that as an excuse. Question 3. Ghislaine Maxwell was the daughter of former Daily Mirror owner Robert Maxwell, who, of course, himself died in mysterious circumstances amidst a raft of allegations about fraud and the like. Some circles seem to keep repeating themselves. Question 4 was a tricky one, I admit. And the city that the McCloskeys were in with their guns waving from the McMansion was St. Louis. They've been charged with some small offence, but it's looking like no matter what happens there, they'll be pardoned because it's all a political game, isn't it, out there in America at the moment? Justice. And finally, my favourite question of the whole quiz, question 5. The cocaine, 130 grams of it, was somehow, this is painstakingly brilliant, hidden inside of coffee beans. Actually, inside the actual beans, they resealed them with tape. There must have been painstaking. And the case gets even more bizarre as the package was addressed to Santino D'Antonio, which is the name of the mafia boss in John Wick. Absolutely incredible how you'd stuff. I mean, coffee beans are tiny. Crazy. But yes, that's where they found the cocaine. And that is the end of that. You don't have to share your scores, ladies and gents. It is totally up to you. All I hope is you've had fun. It's been really enjoyable doing it. I'm seeing your scores coming in as we talk. There's some people getting around about the half mark, or just under, which isn't bad. That's good. So I'll make it a little bit easier. But please do feedback and let me know if you'd like it to be less crime based. If you'd like me to do a little bit more of everything, I'm more than happy to do that. I've kept the crime focus because this is a crime book club quiz, but I'm happy to, if you just want to do a normal run of the mill quiz, I'm happy to do that. So please do let me know. Thank you so much for coming and watching and supporting us. Thank you all for being a part of this group, and I shall leave you to have a lovely evening. Thank you all. Good night.